All right, Ty, how are you doing, mate? That's good. You excited for Christmas and Thanksgiving? That's on Thursday. Yeah. Oh, it's just an excuse to eat. I want to eat. Actually, I have a quick, very funny anecdote. I had a friend who had a girlfriend in America, and he went over there for Thanksgiving. Oh no, sorry, he missed Thanksgiving. She was like, "Oh, do you want to come over for Thanksgiving?" He's like, "Nah, I'm good. I'll come over for Christmas though." And she was like, "Okay." And he was like expecting like the roast like we have, but he had spaghetti and meatballs on Christmas Day. And he was like, "Man, it sucked." Like I was expecting, man, I was like, "Yeah, man, they have their roast on Thanksgiving. That's when they have their feast." He was like, "Yeah, hang on, one sec. Um, one moment. I mean, it was just me talking there, but I realized I wasn't recording you at all for that. I had the wrong source for the desktop audio.
Oh
So,
dear.
sorry, Ty. You were on mute, but not of
Oh,
your own accord. Sorry, go on, Netherlands.
yes, I was going to say that in the Netherlands it's a similar thing where most people either have a big celebration on Sinterklaas on 5th of December or Christmas, usually not both.
Right.
Just a bit of a cost thing, I suppose, and keeping it special.
Well, and that's a lot of calories to consume across like 2 weeks.
Yes, that's true.
All right, friendliness out of the way, Ty. Time to get mean, and let's rip apart some demos.
Yeah, I played quite a few.
But we'll quickly go off. I mean, Halo Infinite technically counts, right? That was an open beta.
Yeah, yeah, we can count that.
Well, we'll count Halo Infinite.
You want to
But
start with some small ones or go straight into it?
I mean, I want to kind of kick off with Halo Infinite because I've got not a lot to say about it, and I think you've got a little bit to say about it as well. I don't think we have a huge amount to say about it, so I kind of think it'd be a nice appetizer.
Yeah, okay.
All right, so
Oh,
first game I had a big team battle game, and it was laggy as fuck. Like
yeah,
when I saw people saying like, "Oh, I've had no problems," I'm like, What? Really?" A lot of rubber banding and stuff, and I kind of hogged the Wasp, and then
mm,
um, I kind of had the one game, and then I just uninstalled it. And then after talking to you for a bit, I was like, you know what, I'll give it another go and actually engage with the mechanics.
yeah,
Um, I tried a couple of the 4v4s, like the quick game. They were a lot more
yeah.
fun. I much prefer those over big team. I don't know whether it's an age thing because I played nothing but big team when I was a teenager. So for context, the last Halo I played competitively was Halo 3.
Yeah.
And it wasn't even really competitively. That's the last game I played Halo 3 online multiplayer, like competitive PvP
Yeah, I
multiplayer.
see.
So a lot has changed in that time. My first initial thought was that it felt a little bit too Call of Duty
Right.
with the I don't know, there was like sprinting and now there's kind of like an aim down sight on every single weapon with like the
Kind of.
slight magnification. I was like, I don't know, man. I kind of liked the arcadiness with like the assault rifle, that it was kind of spray and pray, and it was a lot more. I mean, it's pushing more towards an esport now, so I know it's got to tighten up its mechanics a bit and actually make it more competitive, based more on skill. But yeah, I think my first game of it, I did not like it. I was like, this
Right.
is
Yeah.
ugh. But as I play it more and more, I actually played it with a friend as well on Sunday night instead of, it's because we didn't have D&D because someone couldn't make it. So we were like, oh, we'll play some Halo Infinite, and yeah, I had a lot of fun playing with a friend.
That's good.
Because also we were
That's
half the team, which was nice.
yeah. Yeah. So I have never played Halo multiplayer.
Interesting.
Um
Oh, you've never had consoles, have you?
no, never had a console. So that whole thing kind of passed me by. Um
So this is
so
like
like
your first bite of Halo, really.
multiplayer. I
Right.
played the single player campaigns later.
Okay.
like much later, like when they got the remastered versions and stuff.
Right.
Although I did play, because the first Halo actually was on PC, and I
Yeah.
played a bit of it with a friend, but I didn't complete it.
Hmm.
Um, but yeah, my my first impressions of it was I did like it quite a lot. I did have a couple of networking problems. Um, about half of the games had something. When I was first playing, I had some kind of issue, but only one or two matches had any serious rubber banding problems.
Hmm.
But then a few days later, it was much less. I don't know what it is really, but yeah, I noticed it a lot less a few days later.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, I enjoyed it a lot. It's kind of reminded me a bit about of Halo, like the single player Halo stuff that I played.
Hmm.
1 and 2 mostly. Didn't play much of 3.
To be fair, the mechanics are pretty one-to-one. Like, there's not a lot
Yeah.
changes.
Um, it in some ways reminded me of Unreal Tournament 2004 and 3 specifically.
Oh man, I super disagree with you on this point, but go on. Like,
Well, it's not entirely the gameplay. It's mostly like the weapons being placed here and there. Um,
okay.
and like power-ups being in these places on these maps and being like very predictable in that there's always this power-up in this spot on this map.
Yeah, I guess, yeah, okay, fair enough. You're pretty right on that one, because like the power-ups used to be part of a loadout. You used to
Yeah,
pick I'm going to have armor lock and I'm going to have sprint, which was a power-up in Halo 3. I think it was Halo 3 that had like the bubble shield and armor lock and things like that.
right.
But now they're like, yeah, now they're temporary power-ups that you pick up, or finite power-ups.
Yeah, so
Um,
that running around the map, going to like different areas to pick weapons up and like
hmm.
and power-ups up, that reminded me a bit of Unreal Tournament in a way.
I agree with you on that one then. Fine. Yeah, I get you. It is a bit more arcadey like that.
Yeah.
Very Quake Team Arena, those kind, yeah, aping kind of the older shooters.
One thing that I found kind of frustrating actually, but maybe I'll learn it, is that the same maps but different game modes can have different layouts for where the weapons are.
Yeah.
So I'd be like, oh, I know this map, but it's a different game mode. So I go to this place expecting this weapon to be there, and it's a different weapon.
I see. Yeah, I'm gonna just quickly go on a bit of a criticism,
Yeah,
but it's a bittersweet one. It's kind of a backhanded compliment. Um, when I first saw, because I thought it was just the open beta was free. I
yeah.
didn't realize Halo Infinite was going to be free to play. Like at least the
Okay.
multiplayer component was gonna be free to play. Because I saw like the battle pass, and I was like, oh no, like I was like, no, don't. However, I
Yeah.
don't see any loot boxes yet, and I really hope they don't put them in because I will have to stop playing.
Yeah, from the looks of it, all the Battle Pass gives you is like extra unlocks.
Well, yeah,
Because
yeah,
when you level up, the free stuff you get is like very minor. Like you only get basically get your first, like if you reach level 10, the free cosmetics that you've unlocked is like one visor
yeah.
skin and one armor paint.
Yeah, well, it's the reason I hate loot boxes so much, and I will have to stop playing if they do have them, is because um, speaking as someone who's had like an issue with gambling,
Mm-hmm.
I will tell you, Overwatch. I uninstalled Overwatch like years ago
Yeah.
because of that. I remember talking to Farah, and I was like, it's back in uni, actually, back in masters. Um, and I was like up at like 2 o'clock in the morning, going like, I want to go buy some loot boxes. And
Yeah.
I was just so like, yeah, they say it's not gambling, but man, does it scratch that itch.
Yeah.
Like, it can be detrimental, especially people. And I know it's, you could argue, oh, but there's violence in games. People are triggered by violence, and it's like, okay, but there are options like that it's not a core part of the game. I mean, if you avoid games with violence, then there's very much a particular genre you won't like, so you're not going to play that game anyway. But if I have a gambling issue and I want to play a shooter, they could take those loot boxes out of Overwatch and have it not affect anything whatsoever.
You would yeah, you could phrase it as games with violence are upfront about the fact.
Yeah. Well, and it's generally part of the genre. Like a first-person shooter is 99% of the time violent.
Yeah.
Other than like was it like is it called Hungry Planet? I think it was called, or but
that name rings a bell, but that's a long time ago, I think.
Yeah, there's some very very niche games that are not violent. Do you know what I mean? But and I guess the argument could be made. I'm a huge fan of Elder Scrolls Online.
Mm-hmm.
However, the loot boxes on that, all the stuff in the game, you can just buy. Like the stuff that's in the loot boxes, I could just buy if I wanted it. And me and Farron struggled to find the loot boxes.
Okay.
Like we got given a crown crate, which is what the name of the loot boxes are. We got given a crown crate as part of a level up, and we were both stood there going, where do I redeem this crown crate? We actually found it quite hard to find where the loot boxes were. So I was like, that's good, because at least they're hidden away. And I forget they're in there a lot of the time. And when you look at like the rewards, anyway, I've gone a bit of a tangent, but
yeah, going back to Halo Infinite, the rewards, I know I didn't mind it. Like all the battle pass gives you is just extra cosmetic.
Yeah, and like I said, same can be said for Overwatch. They're just cosmetic, but I really hope 343 don't put.
Yeah, it for now it's just a path to progression. Essentially, it's you get these rewards at these level unlocks.
It's totally fine as is. Please don't change anything about it. 343. I know you're not listening, but please.
Another part which I half enjoy, but there's also something I'm not sure about, is the challenges, the weekly challenges thing.
Oh yeah.
So the way the system works is, you get a bunch of challenges per week, which can like range from kill 5 enemies with a shotgun to like
splatter 5 enemies with a vehicle.
Yeah. It's doing stuff, but yeah, good words there. What I found is that it's definitely made me branch out a little bit, like try different weapons and try different approaches. Like a challenge which involved me using the grapple hook to hook onto enemy players and melee them.
I loved that. That was cool.
I actually didn't know that was a thing. So the challenge, that challenge was quite fun.
Mm.
One thing though is that because I don't believe there's a way to select which game mode or map to go onto. When there was a challenge, like
hold the ball, hold the odd ball.
Yeah, or capture 3 capture zones.
Mm.
And then and then like just getting endless different game modes when you go matchmaking was a bit frustrating.
Yeah, capture 5 stronghold points. Now here's 10 games of Slayer in a row. It's like, fuck, come on.
Another thing that I found it did once or twice was make me play in a like not doing the game mode, essentially. Like there was a one of the challenges, like one of the last ones I did, was complete 10 matches. If you do all your weekly challenges, you get like one last weekly challenge, and if you complete that, you get a reward, like a cosmetic thing. And mine was, complete 15 matches. Doesn't matter if you win or lose. Doesn't matter what type. Which meant that there were several matches where I just wanted the enemy to finish the match because I knew we were losing. Yeah. And I kind of wanted my teammates to stop fighting back so I could finish this match.
Yeah, just let them cap. It's 2-0. Just let them cap.
Yeah.
Actually, quick capture the flag thing. Sorry, random player, who I shot at,
Hmm.
friendly random player who I saw take the flag to our flag and then start running around.
Yeah.
I was like, dude, Cap, what the fuck you doing? Like, I was like shooting. I wasn't actually speaking to him and I wasn't actually using the texting, but I was like kind of friendly firing him with the assault rifle going like, come on. And then I didn't realize that the actual capture point is separate from the flag.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, whoops. Sorry, friend. If I could
Uh,
apologize to you, I would. And then about 5 games later, I realized there's a text thing which I could have apologized in.
oh
But
well.
yeah, whoops. I feel terrible about that.
Overall, though, I would say I really enjoyed it. It's very polished. Like they're very close to release,
Yeah.
but yeah, it's very polished. No major bugs that I could see. Very enjoyable as well.
Oh yeah, it kicks ass.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. My final thoughts on it is, yeah, I'm probably still gonna be playing it. It makes a good. I think it makes a good Friday night drinking game for me
Yeah.
because I used to do. I used to just pick an MMO. It used to be just like WoW. I'd be like, right, I'm gonna have some beers on a Friday night. I'm gonna get drunk and I'm just gonna dungeon spam while I watch stuff, kind of thing. And I think with the casual, like I might just do like big team,
Yep.
just because I'm not letting down 75% of the team when I'm pissed, when I'm drunk and I can't keep up. But yeah, I think it's definitely gonna be a great casual game for me. I don't think I'm ever gonna take it seriously, thankfully.
I don't think so
I love the
myself either.
AIs. Oh, by the way, the
Yeah.
AIs are amazing. Have you got which one are you using?
Uh, Cirque?
I'm
Was
using
it called
Cirque
Cirque?
too. She's so
Yeah.
funny. I love her. She's like a psychopath.
Yeah.
Like,
I liked her because she seemed like the most fun.
yeah, like when you grab the oddball, she's like, haha, you're gonna have to pry it from our cold dead hands. Like,
Yeah, she's a bit psychotic. I find that
yeah,
quite funny.
like the psycho kind of. I think in corporate, but that's not the word I'm looking for. I guess, but she's like the airy psycho. As like when I got
Yeah.
like the rocket launcher, and I got oh, slight humble brag here. I got an overkill. It was with a
Yeah.
rocket launcher. It wasn't anything really impressive, but she was like, haha, that's gonna leave a mark. Stuff like, yeah, it was so good. Yeah, overall, I really enjoyed it. I hated it at
Yeah.
first, but if you're in the same position as me where you've had like a bit of a Halo break,
Mhm.
man, I saw the Halo's 20 years old.
Yep.
Ugh, I was like, shit. I remember getting that on Xbox. I remember playing it on release. Anyway, um, yeah, give it time if you don't like it. If you're like me and like the last you played was like Halo 3, and now you're jumping into this, it is very different, but it's still pretty fun. You can still, like, I still do pretty well, and I'm not very good at shooters.
Yeah.
Like you're surprisingly good at shooters. I did not expect you to be as good at shooters as you are. Like I've seen your achievements on BPM. Like, how the fuck like have you done that? But for someone like me
Uh,
who's an absolute scrub,
yeah.
it's still you can still pull your weight.
Yeah.
Right.
I agree with that. Yeah. It's I would say give it a few matches to grow on you
Hmm.
because you can get like just a bad match.
Especially now, you're not going to be very good.
Mm.
I'll just tell you that straight out. You're not going to be very good. You're going to get your shit pushed back in for a bit. So just until you get the feel of it, then make a decision. But it's free, so it's kind of hard to argue.
Mhm.
Um, So another quick one. Well, this wasn't a quick one. That was fucking 15 minutes. Jesus Christ. Um.
It's a big game.
Oh yeah. I mean, there's a lot to talk about. I guess, and we're getting more used to this. I guess. So there's one I played that you recommended. But not sure if it was last week or if it was off air. Decoherence.
Oh, right. Yeah. Decoherence.
Decoherence.
Yeah.
It's all right. Like that, it wasn't what I expected. Like a weird like
Uh.
tower defense. It's kind of like oh god, what's it like a Sanctum kind of thing, right? It's like a tower
Mm.
defense almost, like an active tower defense game.
Yeah. I played it as well. The Decoherence demo. Uh. Not my thing.
Yeah.
Um. I will say that the presentation is very like nice. Like
I love the art.
yeah, it's very well polished, and like the art and the way the game presents itself, like with all the voices and the sounds and lights. Um, it's so I think I wanted the game to be slower.
Right.
Like so the way it is essentially kind of like tower defense. Each to one versus one, and each person has like a tower that they have to defend. And you place down mechs and like turret and like tiny turrets. And these mechs can be customized with different movement or weapon options.
Hmm.
So you've got like mortars and you've got like rams and stuff like that and shields. And these bots you have to program what they do. So you can either let them just manually, just automatically attack, or you can tell them to move here, here, and here, and then attack that thing. Um, and then once you've set everything up, you press go and everything goes. And you can directly control one bot if you want to.
You can like
What
hop
I
on it, you
found,
can ride it. Sorry.
yeah, yeah. What I found is that I would set stuff up, and then seconds after everything starts, I would lose track of everything, and like I don't know. It's like very difficult to. I find it
It's
very difficult to get my head around how you like strategize.
the way I think about it is that it's a very cool idea. I
Hmm.
just don't think the mechanic, I guess, as a mechanic, hasn't been thought out well enough. I guess it hasn't been fleshed out enough. Because yes, I'm the same. I think Farron was watching me at one point, and I spent about 10 minutes, genuinely 10 full minutes, 600 seconds, planning all this stuff and programming all my robots. As soon as I press start, it just devolves into chaos.
Yeah, like
Like it's too much to juggle.
so in the demo, there's like a mini campaign thing, like 3 missions and then the boss. I managed to beat the boss, but so this boss goes on a set track, like it moves in a set line and fires missiles periodically and hits anything close. And I used up all my chances, and I finally got the boss on my last chance.
Hmm.
And my final strategy was essentially just putting down as many damage bots as possible, riding on one of them and forgetting strategy and just
Zerg Rush.
treating as a twin stick shooter almost.
Basically, yeah. Well, when I first started playing the tutorial, I was like, "Oh, this is actually quite a neat twin stick shooter," and then it was like, "Oh, it's some kind of weird tower defense thing." Oh, this is getting worse. I mean, it was. I don't know if they kept it as like a twin stick shooter, an arena style where you maybe make like a couple of mechs maybe, and you can
Mm,
ride one. Yeah, I mean, I think that would have been better than having this whole tower defense stuff. Maybe have the tower defense as like a game mode.
yeah,
But I don't know, man. It just for me, yeah, it like started off amazingly because I like twin stick shooters. I jive with them. But it just very quickly got like, oh, this is not very good. Oh, this is turning into something I do not like. Kind of moment.
yeah. I think the strategy part of the game needs
Work
a bit of refining.
very
Uh,
quickly turns to chaos. You immediately forget what you tried to plan. It
yeah,
just turns to shit.
same for me. Yeah. Uh, Now I played a few small games, small demos. The first is Abriss, Abriss.
Okay.
This is a physics destruction puzzle game. It's got a very clean, futuristic look. Very much a construction site, I suppose, but then in the future.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, Presentation and soundtrack is okay, nothing to write home about, I found.
Mm.
The physics is pretty good. Like everything explodes into tiny pieces and breaks. And the way it is like you go into an arena, you have specific spots where you can build, and you have a limited amount of stuff you can put down, like girders, boxes.
Mm.
It's all physics based, so like nothing sticks together. So if you put a few pillars on each other, like they're probably going to fall over. You've got like specific boxes which allow things to stick together, and then you get like hinges, you get rotating pieces, you get lasers so you can attach the stuff.
Mm. Looking at
And
it, sorry, I got a very good quick summary for people here. It's basically sci-fi Besiege
yeah,
by the
yeah,
looks of things.
and yeah, the puzzle is destroying. There's specific targets that you have to destroy to finish the level, and then you get bonus points for destroying as much of the level as possible.
Mm.
So yeah, there's like a minimum amount that you have to destroy.
I'm actually gonna wish list that, 'cause if that's around $10, I might pick that up. That
Hmm.
looks pretty cathartic.
I found it. Yeah, I found it alright. Um, I quite funny. I encountered a crash like very quickly
Oh god.
because so there's a tutorial, yeah,
Yeah.
and I finished the tutorial with like something like 60 or 70% destroyed of the initial target,
Mm-hmm.
and I felt like, I want to try that again, the tutorial destruction thing. And it said, "Oh yeah, do you want to start the?" So I was in my menu, clicking tutorial. I said, "Do you want to start the tutorial without the actual tutorial?" And I clicked yes, and the game crashed.
No, you don't. It's like, oh,
Uh,
I want to start without the tutorial. No, you don't. Okay, that's pretty neat though. I have wishlisted that. Like I said, if it comes up to maybe under £15, I might pick that up.
yeah,
I
it
think
was pretty neat.
I think I got Besiege for about the same price. So,
From the looks of it, because there's only specific places where you can build, it's like static.
hmm.
I don't think there would be as much freedom as in Besiege, because I think in Besiege you
You
can
drive
make like,
around.
yeah,
Yeah,
I don't think you can do that here. Like you're limited to platforms.
but this one looks a bit easier than Besiege, which is why I'm interested.
Mm,
Because one of the things that gets me about Besiege is like how intricate you have to be. You almost have to be a bit of an engineer to be able to do well at it.
I see. Yeah.
Yeah, it's very tough. Like Besiege is very finicky, but it looks like you could just win this by stacking a bunch of towers and making it fall over, like kind of thing.
Yeah, that is in the first few levels, yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I didn't find it particularly difficult. Most of the difficulty was in like making something long enough to actually hit something.
Mm.
Like, this is too long. Oh wait, this is too high. That sort of stuff.
Yeah.
Uh, a second small demo I played was Heliotropism.
Okay.
This is a tree growing simulator. So
Okay. Sell
it's
me.
a it's a 2D resource management game
Okay.
where it's turn-based, and you have to place down like routes, which gives you like resource capacity. You have to place sorry, you have to place down roots, which is where you can get your water from.
Right.
You have to place down like your tree trunk. You have to grow your tree trunk, and that's like your resource capacity. And you have to place down leaves, which gives you energy, but they consume water. So you have to balance out how much water you get from your roots and how much energy you get from your leaves.
Right.
And then as you go through, see the seasons, and then when winter comes, you no longer get any energy. So you have to have enough energy stored up to survive.
Huh.
There's random events like strong winds, which means you can only build leaves in the direction of the wind, or like pollution, which means that your leaves die half as fast.
Right.
There's also some strategy in the roots, as in you can like grow your roots in the direction of underground water, like aquifers.
Right.
There's also power-ups, like one, for example, was you pick one at the start of the game, and then I think you also purchase them at each spring.
Okay.
And the power-ups are things like know what random events are happening in the future, or a random chance for your routes to expand, or you can have your leaves be 2 spaces from the trunk instead of 1.
Hmm. Okay.
It's also got a really stupid narrator.
Well, like stupid as in like you don't like it, or like purposely entertaining.
He puts on a stupid voice.
Oh, okay.
Like, it's, yeah, it's somebody trying to be dumb, or trying to sound stupid, I think.
Oh, really?
Well, if you listen to the trailer, you'll understand because
Okay.
he
I'll
talks in the trailer.
tell you what. I'll put a bit of that on now.
Okay.
Oh God. Did you hear that already?
Yeah, yeah.
That came through the mic. Then yeah, fine. That's fine. That's enough. People can go check it out. on the link. God, immediately. I was like, hell no, I'm out.
He talks constantly.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, you can't turn it off.
Uh, Maybe. I actually didn't look.
Oh, God.
But, yeah, it's a silly, stupid game.
Yeah, I mean, it's £4. What can you ask? Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
what could you ask for? I mean, a half decent game would be good. But no, I guess yeah, it seems like a daft little game. I mean, the other game they made is very simple as well. This company's
Mm.
the publisher's Verde, or the developer's Verde. They made Roll of Hex, which looks like a very simplistic real-time strategy.
Mm.
Also early access, and it was released a couple of months earlier. Oh, are these guys just pumping out early access stuff?
I don't know. I didn't look.
Well, so, okay. Well, I'm gonna keep an eye on them because looks like they're just
I,
pumping out a bunch of unfinished games and charging for them.
yeah, like I just looked. Looked through the list of demos and thought like this is a tree growing
Tree game.
simulator.
Yeah, it looks. Yeah.
I played one more demo.
Okay.
Shall I talk about that one, or do you
Save it
have?
because I got one
Yeah.
that is going to be kind of an honorable mention, which won't take very long.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it might take a little long, but I finally got around to playing Iluri.
Oh,
Oh
Iluri.
my god, that little bastard's so cute. Oh, it was so
Yeah. Oh, yeah,
sad.
yeah.
The little fox thing. Oh, it was so adorable. I like the collectible stuff. I like the platformer stuff. I like the collectible stuff. Like it wasn't very long.
No.
Like but I mean, this is like a legit program. This is like a legit project. So
Yeah.
it's not like one little smashed out kind of weekend student project. This is trying to be a legitimate game, like a proper full, proper game. So I don't judge it for having such a short demo. Like, I
Did you
mean,
play?
sorry, go on.
I was gonna say, did you play both of the levels?
Yeah,
Like,
I completed it.
yeah.
Yeah, it's like I said, the boss it was interesting. I'm usually kind of against auto scroller bosses.
Mm.
It was a bit boring because I didn't really know what to do for a bit. So I
Right.
found out that like when the trees fall, they hurt him. I was like, oh, so I just got to keep running then. And
Okay.
there are moments where like the screen, the camera pans, but then it stops panning.
Mm.
But then there's like a bit of flame which looks like it's in the foreground, and I died when I ran into it. So like I went all the way
Yeah.
back to the beginning of the section, and it's like it didn't take me long to complete. It took me about 45 minutes to complete the whole thing. Genuinely about 20 minutes of that was me dying to that final boss and having to start all the way over again.
Yeah.
Because that boss takes about like genuinely like 5 minutes. That's a long time when you're not in combat.
Mm.
I'm just stood there waiting for it to walk towards me so they can progress the screen. I don't know. Maybe they're making it easy for the demo. But yeah,
Yeah.
that was Iluri. It was a lot of fun. Really cute. Check out their Kickstarter on one of our previous episodes. The Kickstarter's
Yeah.
closed now, but I guess you can still get the demo page.
Yeah.
Or just Google Iluri demo. It'll be in the chapters in the description.
Mm-hmm.
I played a game that I am super stoked about, and
Yes.
I guess I'm not really a disclaimer, but I joined the Discord.
Okay.
There's me and 4 other people. One of those is the developer.
Okay.
So I had like a very, very brief. I said, "Hey, I love the game. I played the demo for a bit, and I got some criticisms, but overall, I'm super excited for this." And he said he appreciated the feedback, and he said he'd be updating the demo as the time goes on. I said, "Cool." I haven't posted it yet. It's been about like 4 days or 2 days, but I'm like want to put it into like a Word doc and send it to him properly. It
Mm.
is called Dunnigan's Trail. Now,
Done.
Dunnigan's Dunnigan Trail.
I see.
It is Oregon Trail inspired,
Okay, I see.
where you play like a fantasy party, and you just got like an ogre just pulling your cart. Yeah, it's actually quite it's got a lot
This
of
looks cute.
yeah. Right now,
Mm-hmm.
it's not hugely playable. It's a
Okay.
really good proof of concept right now. Like this could be
Mm.
something amazing as long as the team on it um as long as the team on it play their cards right. This could be feckin' amazing.
Yeah.
So what happens on the demo is you say new game, and you're suddenly
Mm-hmm.
plonked on the screen with the cart moving, and
Okay.
stuff's just happening. And the there's a bit of UX that needs to be done here. But like the updates scroll are like the width of the screen and scroll up,
Okay.
so you can't actually see what's, even though it's just like a little ogre or orc or whatever doing the pulling the carriage. I can't see anything, and there doesn't seem
Mm.
to be any options to stop to like set up camp. There doesn't seem to be any way to stop progression because you just keep going and going until you hit combat.
Okay.
So at the moment, it's kind of like you travel for a bit, you have a couple of random events, then there's a fight, which will then progress the day. So there's 5 days of travel in this game. You kind of travel for a bit, random event, fight, and then it goes to day 4 to a new area, like a graveyard, and then I go blah, 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 blah. Right, end of the day, you have a big fight in like a desert, and then I go next fight, next day being in like a jungle. Um, but what happens is when you enter a fight, it turns into like Shining Force or like a Fire Emblem,
Okay.
like top down turn based strategy with like a little turn list of initiative in the bottom corner. Um, the problem is it shows you the turn list by using the character sprite whose turn it is, but your crossbowmen have the same sprite as enemy crossbowmen.
Okay.
You can hover over
Yeah.
units, and it'll say this character will act in 3 turns. So you can clarify if you're confused. However, at a snap, I want to just look at it and carry on strategizing. You know, I want to get as much information as I can in as little a time as possible.
Yeah. It looks really neat.
It's really cool.
Um.
Yeah, I fucking love the concept of it. I would honestly like, depending on how expansive it is, to be honest. If they nailed what I have in my head, I'd easily pay 25 quid for this.
Mm.
I'd easily pay shitloads for this because I love Oregon Trail. I love Oregon Trail. Have you seen that one?
Yes, I have.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I loved Oregon Trail.
Mm.
I love that concept of kind of going like picking up supplies and then surviving until you
Yeah.
get to a new place. I think this guy is this. I've chat to him a little bit. Yeah, he seems like he's super receptive. Or they, sorry, I'll say they because I don't know who they are really. So they seem really receptive to the concept of feedback. Um, there's a couple of bugs. Like I say, yeah, one I don't really know what's going. I feel very out of control on the overhead screen.
Okay.
I'm just kind of
Yeah.
AFKing, waiting for an event to happen, where I'd like to be able to stop, set up camp, maybe do some crafting, something like that. But when you get into combat, there's not a lot of feedback
Okay.
or actions in the combat screen. So when I click on someone, they're there, but they don't like highlight. And then when I right click to deselect, no, sorry, when you just right click, the game freezes for like a couple of frames.
Hmm.
So now I don't know what they've got bound to the right mouse button, because my thinking is that because I think this is in Unity, and I think like in the on mouse down on mouse one down event, I think they've just got like stop everything,
Right.
which I think lurches the game a little bit because he must just be checking so much, like bound everything to the right mouse button, so it's checking for everything every time you click it. Like even when I haven't got anything selected, and I'll press right click, and there'll be like a freeze for like about 10 frames. It's very strange. I do like it though. Like I said, it's a hell of a lot of fun. I'm not usually a big fan of Fire Emblem-y kind of stuff, but I
Yeah,
can.
it's. I think it's something to watch and see how it develops.
Well, yeah. I mean, I'm gonna be playing it. I'm gonna be sending some feedback to them as well because I really
Mm.
want this to. I really want this to take off because this sounds amazing. This looks so good. This has been the
I like
game
this.
I've been waiting for.
I actually find the sprite work to be quite cute.
Yeah, it looks real good. It's really good pixel art. Like they've managed to do pixel art in a way that doesn't look tacky. You know, like a lot of people seem to. Well, I'll say a lot of games I have seen with pixel art are trying to force nostalgia instead of just making good pixel art that just happens to be pixel art. Do you get what I mean? They like make it
Vaguely.
terrible. And it's like, no, don't make it terrible. Make it good. It just happens to be pixel art.
Hmm.
Now, maybe I'm not explaining myself very well there because I mean,
I,
I don't really know what I'm talking about either.
yeah, I find the designs to be nice and simple.
Yeah.
It's not overly detailed, which can look bad at like
Yeah, yeah.
pixelated.
Well, do you know what I love about it as well, though? Right, is that you've got
Mhm.
like the pixely stuff. All of the art, all of the in-game art is all pixelated. All the characters so far I've
Right.
seen, and I love the fact that the title is quite detailed. Like the actual title card is actually like a
Okay.
properly rendered piece of art, and it makes me think of like Digger T Rock and like old NES games where they
Right.
would have actually like quite nice artwork, and then you load it up and it's like 5 pixels. You're like, oh, that's what he's meant to look like, kind of thing. I really like that side of it. It really makes me think of like an old NES game or like an old Super Nintendo game.
Mm.
But yeah, that's Dunnigan's Trail, and I am so hype for it. I really want this. Like you don't understand. I want this. No, I don't want this more than Elden Ring, but I want this.
Exciting.
Because
February 2022
yeah,
says.
lots of time. Go download it, guys. Please go download it. Download the demo. Join the Discord. Don't flood with feedback, but just chat about stuff. Find out what's been done already. Yeah. I please, if there's anybody listening, please go play this and join the Discord and support this because this could be amazing.
I'll give it a go.
You better.
All right. I'll give it a go. Promise.
I've got this will probably be the last one from me,
Mm-hmm.
real quick. It's been the best mobile game I've ever played.
Okay.
So I actually went to Itch.io for this one.
All right.
I played Slice and Dice,
I think I've heard of that. 1 second.
which is a kind of a mobile it's a mobile dice rolling game basically with like a party, and you're like locked. You like roll dice to do certain actions. You can lock them at the end of the phase. Then when the combat phase starts, you then use those dice in whatever order you want. You did like gain mana, attack, add a shield to someone else in your party. I
Mm.
played the demo for so long. I was like oddly engrossed with it for about a good 15 minutes. And I was thinking, you know what? This would be great on mobile. This is like perfect for mobile, okay? Because I've always thought I want a really good mobile game.
Yeah.
Because I think mobile is a perfectly valid platform to work on. It's not a cop out to make a mobile game. It's not child's play to make a mobile game. But to make one that isn't filled with like premium crystals and bullshit
Uh-huh.
coins and ads.
I actually think those are actually all the same game, just copy pasted
They are,
15
oh, dude.
times.
Seriously, I played Mortal Kombat, the mobile game. Slight tangent here.
Yeah.
I played the Mortal Kombat mobile game, which is actually really fucking good. How they managed to translate a fighting game into mobile is actually really impressive. But they have like the paywall or whatever it is, or the skull or the whatever, you go, or the reward wall, and you go there and it says like, download this game and play it to level 15 and you will get 200 premium coins. And I was like, oh, go on then, fuck it, I'll play this Guns of War, or whatever the fuck it was called. No, not Guns of Icarus. I don't know, something of something. That's what they all are. Noun of noun. And I played it a little bit, and I was like, yeah, it's like building a fort and building a farm and building a blah blah blah. And then I was like, oh, I'll play the new Warhammer one. Because I applied for a job with the Hoof. Oh god, what was it? The Scottish company, something Hoof Games. They made the Warhammer Chaos and Conquest, which is like a mobile game. It's the fucking same game.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean literally. No, sorry, not literally. They've changed the artwork.
Yeah.
It's like that Lord of the Rings one there, Lord of the Rings War.
Yeah, it's
like,
the same one.
It's the exact same. It's just plots out in the world which people wander towards, and there's a... Alright, I'm going to get into a rant. We'll have to save that for like Christmas.
Back to Slice and Dice.
Yes, sorry.
So I looked at it. You've played it. So one thing I noticed is, can you rename the characters? Because I see they're all called Thief, Warrior, Defender.
Right, I don't know.
Right.
But for me, I wasn't that bothered because it is such a... It's mechanics. The game is just mechanics. There's no story. Doesn't seem to be any story. Doesn't seem to be any interaction between the party members. So, because I thought that too, but for me personally, I'm cool with not being able to name them because I have no real connection to them. You know, like they don't have story, they don't have interaction. So I was like, I don't care.
Fair enough.
No, sorry, quickly. I was like, this would make a really good mobile game. And what I want to do, I want to buy a mobile game, right? I want to buy a mobile game and have no ads, no premium currency. I just want, like any other game you buy on Steam, I want to pay just like $5 and get a really good mobile game.
Yes.
I then scrolled down and found out this is on mobile. I was like, hell yeah, because the demo gives you the first block. Like the first 12 fights, which I still haven't completed, by the way.
Right.
But it gives you the first 12 fights for demo, and then you pay five quid then, or £5, $7 on the Play Store. Or you can buy it, or actually buy it on their itch.io would be better. Because I think that gets more money directly to them. And you get all the versions. Oh, actually, that's amazing.
Coming to itch.io, coming to iOS soon.
I mean, I wonder if they'll backdate the thing on that. So,
one more question I had actually.
Mm-hmm.
Are there any effects other than the dice rolling?
So you have cantrips, which happen when the dice show up, regardless of whether or not you cast them. So there's like a dagger cantrip, and you don't have to lock in the dice. It's just if it shows up during the re-rolling phase, then you will get it. Like it will cast kind of automatically.
Any animation and stuff?
No,
like
not really.
Visual flair?
Nah, not really. It's very, very, very simplistic. Which I mean, for me personally, I don't. I would play a text-based game if it had really good mechanics. Like for me, if it had that really good, satisfying loop, I would play a game in ASCII graphics. For me, I'm not one for. It'd be nice to have. Don't get me wrong. Yeah, it'd be nice to have extra visual effects and things like that. But yeah, I mean, sorry, going back to the payment thing. Yeah, buy it on itch.io. Buy it through the itch.io page because you can either pay, I think it's like $4.99 or $3.99 for the full Android version, or $7. Let me quite quickly check how much $7 is. That's 70. So then for an extra quid, you can get the Windows version, the Mac version, and the Java version, which runs on Linux.
Right.
So, just, yeah, buy it on itch.io. I think more goes to the developer anyway, through itch.io. But you also get, like, 5 times as much platforms. So just, like, whatever. It's way better. Anyway, brilliant game. Hooked me for a good few hours. Even just trying to get through the first block. Like, I was trying to learn how to play it, and I love those kind of deck building games as you go along. You upgrade as you go kind of thing. No real plan. Yeah, I'm super high. I probably am gonna buy it once I beat the first 20. Once I beat the first 12 levels.
Yeah,
I'm absolutely going to buy it, and that's Slice and Dice. Go play it. It's amazing.
fair enough.
Download it on the Google Play Store, or well, not on iOS, but yeah, good. It's real
Okay,
good.
sounds good.
Your last one.
Yes, now the last one I've played, it was quite something. Um, it's called The Last Campfire. It
It sounds
it's a bit
familiar.
of yeah, it's a bit of a darling. Um, it's gotten quite a few awards and popular stuff.
Okay.
So yeah, it's a 3D sort of adventure game with some light puzzles. Uh, the demo has like basically the first level, and I didn't really have any problems with the puzzles. I was never stuck.
Hmm.
Um, it's got a narrator.
Is he
Uh,
stupid?
no, no, she's
Okay.
fine.
Are they? Sorry. I start with they.
Um, it's a very it's a touching game. Like
It's very
it's a
sweet.
yeah, it's an emotional game.
Right.
The plot of the story, as far as I can grasp it from just the demo, is that you are a one of many travelers going through a somewhat both physical and spiritual journey,
Hmm.
and you have to help people that get stuck along the way in kind of a mental way.
Right.
And you do this by going into their mind palace and completing a puzzle. Uh, and then you talk to them and stuff, and all narrated. And there's also other characters like a giant frog that helps you.
So that dude sticking out of the
And
water with a flower on his head.
hmm
Lotus.
and it has to deal with a lot of mental stuff like depression,
Okay.
like when you try to help them. It talks through the narrator kind of explains what the issue is, like feeling trapped, feeling unappreciated,
Hmm.
feeling worthless, and you have to kind of the puzzles kind of reflect that in a way. Like when one of the people that you were trying to help, the narrator explains that they were feeling lost, as in completely not knowing where to go at all. The puzzle was kind of a maze.
Hmm.
Um, there was also one part where after you, I don't know, light spoiler, I guess, for the end of the demo, but
But just quickly, sorry for saying, I'll put in like a timestamp for post
uh,
spoiler.
yeah, okay. Yeah, so spoiler starting now. Once you finish the demo portion um, of the first level, once you have everyone there and help them all through and open the door, you come across another person that is like locked in this in a state as the others were, and you go to them expecting to do the exact same thing as you've done to the others and help them in their mind palace. But then, as the narrator says, this person says to you that they know what they're feeling and that they're not supposed to feel it, but they don't want to be helped.
Very
And then,
spooky.
yeah, and then the narrator says that not every not everything is a problem looking to be solved.
Oh, it's very strange, very eerie. I like that.
Yeah, it's I got the feeling that your character is being a psychopomp,
Right.
which
Okay.
is a sort of a mythical person who guides people to the afterlife. That's the vibe I got from it because they talk about being ready to move on.
Hmm. Interesting.
So.
you have tactfully left out who made this game though, Ty. When I looked at who made it.
Oh, I actually didn't look. Who did it?
Yeah.
Oh, it's them.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's like no one. Like I wonder if this is an exploration of post their big game mental state. I wonder because I know. So yeah, this is Hello Games, the guys who made No Man's Sky,
Mm.
and I wonder. Cause I do remember watching a documentary an online YouTube documentary about No Man's Sky's troubles. And I know that Sean Murray. That?
I think it is.
I think it's Sean Murray. Yeah, he went through a lot of shit like to get No Man's Sky out the door and to have it like still be like underwhelming. I mean that's an understatement. But
Yeah, it's gotten better
it's
now,
gotten better
but
now, but yeah, that release cycle messed with him. I know, it's you gotta balance what it is, regardless of what you think of the game. The guy's mental state was frazzled.
so
So I wonder if that feeling hopeless and feeling worthless. I don't know. I'm projecting here. This is all pure
mm,
speculation. But I wonder if this Last Campfire was so effective because it came from a place of actual, feeling that way.
potentially.
Could
It's
be.
yeah, I find myself after a while also getting into it and being touched by it.
Hmm.
I definitely think it's gameplay wise, it's nothing too intricate.
Hmm.
Like I said, I was never really stumped by the puzzles. They were all kind of intuitive, and I kind of knew what to do. Um, I didn't. I haven't noticed any. The only other gameplay thing I noticed is that you can pick up items, and then you have to like use them somewhere else. Um, so like I know the extent of the puzzle of one puzzle, for example, was like talk to a fisherman. Uh, and help him through his problem.
Hmm.
And then afterwards, he says that he'll help you any way that he can, and you can
Hmm.
talk to him a bit more about like his thoughts and stuff in his life. And you eventually later on in a different area find a broken fishing net,
Ah.
and yeah, yeah, the
Wow.
and then the thing that you need to get is has fallen into a body of water.
Very strange.
So it's kind of like yeah, use fishing net on fisherman, repair fishing net, use fishing net on lake, get
Hmm.
get item.
Hmm. Yeah, I expect to be a bit more like abstract if that's what they were going for.
Um,
Like I don't know. I don't know.
it
For me, that
doesn't
would be quite
really
underwhelming.
it doesn't really come across as abstract. I find it quite
No,
chill.
sorry, no. What I would expect from something like that would be more. I'd expect a more abstract use for the fishing net.
Right,
I'd be
I
like,
see.
do I have to use it to on someone to help them catch their thoughts? Something like that. That's what I'd be going for. And I guess in the trope of being underwhelming, well done, Hello Games. But you've also been no. But yeah, to me, I don't know. It feels a bit too literal.
Um, I don't know. Like the game was quite grounded in a way.
Hmm.
Uh,
Okay.
but yeah, it's cute as well. Like the characters are all quite cute.
Um. Yeah, it does look really nice. It has that kind of very, very cartoony without looking silly. Kind of look like kind of unravel or
Hmm.
unraveled. Is that unravel or unraveled? I don't know. But yeah, that kind of style. Maybe a bit more realistic. I say realistic. Maybe a bit more detailed than that. But yeah,
Yeah,
that was yeah. It looks really nice.
yeah. I enjoyed it a lot. Um,
All right. I think that's the list, huh? For this week.
yes.
Hopefully we'll try and get around to this because I've been super busy. You've been super busy.
Yeah.
because you got back to training now. So, like, you're busy on Sundays, so we're gonna have to start. We have to start getting a bit more routine with these, man. We've missed a week, and the
Yes.
fans are mad. They're outside the door, Ty. They've flipped my car over. I guess they can now because it's fucking tiny. Have you looked out the window at my car?
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks like a toy car in comparison, doesn't it? It looks comically small. Anyway. Yeah, alright, I think that Ty calls for a brew.
Okie dokie.
Alright, pal.
Sounds good.
See you next time, and we will try and get something out on Sunday this time, I think, because Sunday 6:00 seems to be a good time for us.
Yeah, if I'm not dead, but yeah.
Yeah, no, I mean I'll post it, and anyway, look, we can talk about this later, Ty.
Gotcha.
For God's sake.
Yeah, gotcha.
See
See ya.
ya.
See you in a bit.